All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Good Morning Xbox. I'm your host, Axel1324.
And I'm CoolcatTerri.
I'm DREADPOOL.
And I'm Eternal Shaddai.
That's like only 80% of Eternal Shaddai.
Pretty much. I'm gonna take the shit.
All right. No, it's all right, Shaddai. Just leave it. I had to do that for a few weeks.
I know.
All right. So,
My full self.
there you go. And what's going on to everybody in the chat? It is New Year's Eve. So this will be the last episode of the 2023 season for Good Morning Xbox. What a great year we've had. But yeah, let's see. In the chat, we got my good buddy Doggy Dog 420 joining us. Shout out to Doggy Dog 420. You are the real MVP. Thank you so much for being here. And Yo Wicked Hot joins us as well. He says, "Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday and great show on Friday as well." Hey, thank you so much, Yo Wicked Hot. We really appreciate you. You are the real MVP. And Web Dave is here. What's going on, Web Dave? Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. What a guy. What an outstanding guy. I can't wait to stay in late and actually be home to watch his show instead of always having to catch the replays. Almost there, Web Dave. Almost. So, while we let the chat filter in, everybody, what have you been playing this week, Terry?
Oh, nothing but Avatar.
Avatar. Oh, so jealous.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, I have been thoroughly enjoying it. I highly recommend it. Like, I'm not even that big on the movies, and like the game is just really well done. It has a good gripping story, and the gameplay is fun. You have co-op. It's a good time.
I saw someone complaining that it was too long.
It's not even, dude. Literally, I went to check to see how much more the main story I had left, and I'm literally only got one more mission after the one I'm on, and my story was done. And I was like, oh man, I'm already done.
I guess it's all about perspective then, huh?
Yeah, like I'm just having so much fun with it. I'm like, yeah, I thought that the story went by too quick.
That's on my list of games I want to play for sure. General Spartan says, I just got into the last chapter of Diablo 4. Awesome, man. Hopefully you're enjoying that game. I know my buddy Doggy Dog loved it. So let's see. Sith Lord comes in. Shout out to Sith Lord. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. And hey, thank you so much for supporting the show on Twitter. We appreciate you. Dreadpool, what have you been playing this week?
COD. Finals and Fortnite.
What?
Oh, nice.
So,
have you won in the finals?
No, this was before they fixed the finals. They had an update for friends. So yeah. No, I only played a couple matches. They lasted a lot longer than I expected. And it was definitely a different game. It's fun, fast pace. But I definitely didn't have any fun because we kept on coming in third. Nobody was talking. Nobody was coordinating anything. Nobody was orchestrating any
When you're
plan.
up against a real team, it matters, huh?
Oh, yeah, it matters. It always matters.
You have to invite me. I played that like religiously.
But that was the thing. There was no... you couldn't invite friends. I just found out last night that they fixed it finally.
Oh, thank goodness.
So you were playing with randos, and the randos were good, but not that good. Not saying that I was good. I was a rando too. So
these randos.
But we kept on coming in for Fortnite. I was playing with Retry, and we were coming in second and third. Retry and Galveston.
Nice.
And, playing trios, coming in second and third. First match was second place. So for someone that hasn't played, and I have no idea why, but Fortnite was removed from my console. I had to re-download it.
You know why?
Yeah, well,
space.
She doesn't have room here to talk about nothing.
All right. Well, hopefully you can get that W sometime soon. Get that chicken dinner. I don't know. What do you win in the finals? So like in PUBG, it's chicken dinner. And Fortnite, it's a victory royale. What do you win in the finals? Are you like the finalist or something like that?
The final, I don't know.
No, the beginner.
The beginner.
You finish that one, you begin another one.
See. What is it called when you win in the finals?
I won a couple of
Video
matches.
games.
It doesn't say anything.
It's called the Final Flush.
What, the final countdown?
Let's see. I don't know what it's called. Somebody who knows, let me know. All right. Anyways,
No, it doesn't say anything. It just flashes. That's what it does.
it just flashes that you're the winner.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting. All right. Shaddai, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Sleeping Dogs. I just got yesterday Nintendo Switch, so I could start playing my Breath of the Wild and some other games. But Sleeping Dogs, I went back to Remnant 2 because I wanted it to level up a couple of my weapons. And that's pretty much it. Those two. I'm not going to count the other one because I just got it yesterday. So, yep, those two.
Nice. This week I have been playing The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, more of that. Forza Motorsport 8. I want to finish the campaign, but that's a lot of races, and they're getting longer and longer and longer. I've noticed. I want some Persona 5 Tactica, and then to top it off, last night I fired up my xCloud and played some Firewatch. I saw the reviews for Firewatch. They're like, oh, talk about a game with lots of charm and this and this and this, la 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 la. And I start playing, and like in the first day, there's a lot of cursing. I'm like, what the heck? It like they made this game sound like it was gonna be so nice and all this stuff. There's a lot of cursing.
That's called relaxing.
Yeah, nothing relaxes like curse words. Lord knows they de-stress me when I say them. So yeah, let's see. Happy Cloud Gamer says, Happy New Year. Hey, Happy New Year to you, Happy Cloud Gamer. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says he's been playing Starfield, and now I do understand how to enjoy Starfield. Well, I'm glad you understand it. That's great. I've been loving Starfield, of course.
Are you playing it like an RPG?
Instead of a shooter?
Not for nothing. It's funny. That's how I started Starfield, as a shooter. Hey, I said it before. It's my first Bethesda, so my first reaction is Call of Duty style. So
I see. So let's get right into these topics. Speaking of Bethesda stuff, so I don't know if you guys know, there's Team Fallout. They do mods for Bethesda games, and specifically Fallout, and they have a huge update to it. It is a mod, so don't get it twisted. It's a mod. It's not DLC. It's not official. They are putting a lot of effort into it, though, as they are doing it as a labor of love. And of course they are charging for it, though. But so Team Fallout, a team of about 50 people, have put together something called Fallout London, where they have new animations, new arts, new 3D animations. They have, I think, something like 3,000 grid squares worth of map that they've made. 50 main quests, 25 side quests, and like, I don't know, 17 or so faction quest. 3 new radio stations, an original soundtrack. I mean, they have put the work in to this game, or into this mod, and a lot of people have been very excited waiting for it. Maybe this is something Bethesda should have done themselves, but this is the beauty of Bethesda games, is that people can do this if they want. And to me, this has always been part of the charm of Bethesda. So Fallout London coming to Fallout 4, if you own it, as an official mod. Let us know what you think. But let's find out what Terry thinks. Terry, are you going to get Fallout London?
No. It looks really good, though. I mean, it looks, definitely well done. I don't do mods myself. It's never been my thing. Just no love for mods.
No love for mods. All right.
No love for mods. It's just, it's one of those things. It's like, why can't the developers put forth the effort, and why do they need to, rely so heavily on modders to make their stuff better? That's pretty much Bethesda in a nutshell. They intentionally make their games moddable because they want the modders to mod their game. So it's like,
all right. I think it's fantastic personally, but yeah, a lot of people learn how to code with mods that eventually get into the gaming um, business. And I also think it's healthy, you know, I think it's healthy, but we'll get into that later. Let's see, Shaddai, Fallout London.
No.
No.
No. I played it before, but I didn't last that long.
You played Fallout 4 before? Right?
I think the last Fallout that I played was probably 3. But that was because I wanted to give it a try on how it was. And I knew that the game was going to be extremely huge. The question was I going to be able to dedicate time to that game? And I guess I was like, nope. And I kind of put it to the side. But no, I will not play this game. Does it look awesome? Yes, it does. But kind of surpassed that. Now we're into the Starfield era. So I think this one is not going to go that far.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to go pretty far.
The mods for all of the Bethesda games are crazy popular, but majority are on PC. So you got to be a PC gamer.
Unless, well, I mean, if you register your mod through Bethesda or whatever, you can buy it officially. But yeah, I can see a lot of people. Mods are mostly a PC thing. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, PC pure.
Yeah, but Xbox got mod support for Fallout 4 a few years ago. I mean, not just Xbox, but consoles with the official mod storefront. And so, yeah, a lot of people were upset. What do you got to pay for mods? Why do you got to pay for mods? You've always had to pay for some mods.
Yeah.
Well,
like you can tell who plays and who doesn't when statements like that come out.
Some of the mods are literally like full-size DLCs. You know, like it takes them a long time to make these. You know, it's different when compared to like a mod where they're just adding an item. Like here's a mod where you can have like a cosmetic item. That's different.
Yeah, the Thomas the Train Skyrim mod. That's literally all it is, right? This is like a full game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a full game on there. So I mean, it is very different size-wise. DREADPOOL, Fallout London. I'm trying to say London as British as I can.
It's London.
London.
Well, it depends how you say it too, right?
Yeah, should I Fallout
Oh
London?
God!
Fallout London.
It reminds me of it reminds me of last weekend. That's not how you say it. You say it this way.
Oh yeah. Come here for the pronunciation. Stay for the games, guys.
You gave me that flashback.
So, anywho, Fallout London. What about it?
Are you gonna play it?
Am I? Yeah, I'll probably. It's gonna be the Game Pass, so I'll play it. So yeah.
Is it coming to Game Pass? I didn't even know.
I don't know. It's probably. I'm gonna assume so.
No, it's a mod. It's not an official game.
That's right. Those add-ons don't fall.
Yeah, it's a mod by a team.
Yeah. So no, I'm not playing it.
What is their name? I already forgot their name. But Fallen. Team Fallen.
Are you trying to say London and Fallout at the same time?
Yeah, that's what they call themselves.
Fallout. Fallout.
I always thought it was Fallon, but you know.
Fallon. Okay, yeah, that'll work.
As in Jimmy?
Fallout Villains.
So yeah, no. I mean, like I said, depending on how I can get it, I'll try it out. I'm not gonna go out of my way on it. It looks good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, props to them for doing as much as they did. I mean, it's huge considering what they did to it.
Yeah, they basically took the game and made a new game on top of it.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so the game engine is there, but they just, they full modded it. I'm just like, dang, that's a lot of work. It was scheduled to release already, hence why the trailer came out that you're seeing right now. So instead of releasing Fallout London, they released this trailer. And I like how they're very blunt in the trailer, saying why they delayed the game. And it got delayed back into April to coincide with the Fallout TV show.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
Plus, it gives them time to touch up
Well, that's what it is. They said it's playable. They're just going through it, try to work out any bugs they find, and then they'll work it out. And they're not promising like a polished experience. They're just saying as polished as our team can make it. That's literally what they say, you know. So, to everybody who I already know how the internet's going to be, they're going to see a bug and just be like, "Oh, is this the quality that Xbox gives?" And it's like, no, dude, this is just some modders.
Yeah, this isn't even Bethesda making this.
Yeah, this is some modders.
Yeah, but the thing is, like anything that even if you have connections or not with Bethesda, they're all gonna consider you part of Bethesda anyways.
Yeah, but I think it looks super cool. I mean, the amount of work that went into this mod is exactly the type of mod I want. It's not a skin mod. It's not replacing, Thomas the Dragon with Thomas the Train or Randy Savage. Those are funny for a 10-second clip. This is a full campaign with decisions and pardon the term here, fallout from your decisions. It's gonna be awesome if it works out the way they say it, and I just cannot wait. You can just tell they put a lot of love and effort. I mean, this is a passion project. 50 core, the development team is 50 core people. I think they at the peak with contractors, there was 200 people working on this game. I mean, 200 people, that's a lot of people. 50 people to put this out. It's pretty incredible. I think it looks fantastic, and it scratches that itch until the next Fallout comes out, because Fallout's not coming for a long time. So for those of you that want some more Fallout, this stuff, the modders, while Bethesda is working on the main stuff, the support studios, the modders, they're working on fantastic content like this. And I think it's amazing. So Fallout London, I think, looks amazing. You should definitely give it a try. At least read some reviews and decide if you want to give it a try, if you're on the fence like me, because I am interested and I'm hoping it's good. So yeah, shout out to Team Fallen. They are, this video is fantastic and it shows a lot. I mean, look at all these quests. 64 miscellaneous quests. I mean, that's a lot of quests with their own dialogue. They even got voice actors in to do stuff. I mean, that's cool.
Wonder if one of them is go fetch my leg.
What?
Wonder if one of them is go fetch my leg.
It probably is. I mean,
if I ever made a game, that would be in there 100% just because of the joke.
That would be your running joke?
That would be one of my running jokes, or limping jokes, or hopping jokes, or it'll be a running joke after I get my leg.
It's a running joke. That's right. By the way, I love the background, Dread.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. So Happy Cloud Gamer was saying, I'm looking forward to see if Bethesda will make more content. He's talking about Starfield to explore and open the world. Still looking forward to 2024. Yes. And he says, I can't wait to see how great this content is. Can't we say Fallout London is made by an indie studio? It definitely is. 100% indie. 100%. And Six Slayer comes in. Shout out to Six Slayer. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He says, I'm eyeing that Unico U4 Candy Cab. Have you seen it? What do you think? I guess he's talking to Doggy about something. But shout out to you, Six Slayer. You're the real MVP. And Crazy Greek Dude, along with our Crazy Greek Dude over here that we have on the show, he says, Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. Happy New Year's Eve to you as well. You are the real MVP. Thank you so much for being here. And the Graphic God joins us. Shout out to the Graphic God, Jay. He says, good morning, Xbox family. Good morning, Graphic God. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. All right, so Fallout London coming to a console PC. Did they say what this release is on? Hold on, let me look. They have a firm release day of like April something. April 23rd. Let me see. Is it coming to... Did they say where it is coming to? Link's website. All right. Let's go to the website. Let's explore the website here. Let's see. Oh yeah, and you can listen to the whole soundtrack on their YouTube right now, so that's cool. Modding team, hobbyist, 3D voice. What does it say? What it's coming to, or will it just automatically come to everything?
Well, it says release. Yeah, release.
It doesn't say, so I guess maybe it's up to Bethesda to decide what it comes out to. Fact, press kit, accolades, faction, team. Maybe fact. What is the size? Don't care. No. Will Fallout London be on console? We did not plan to bring Fallout London to any platform other than PC. Dang. You console plebs are screwed. So there you go, guys. Well, either way, I thought Fallout London was awesome. Hopefully they do bring it to console eventually. But again, this is a small indie team. So we will see what happens in the future. So there you go. All right. Other game rumors is Banjo Kazooie is in development according to, let me pull up my link. According to a few people. All right, so according to insider Nate Drake, he has said that Banjo Kazooie is coming. It's still an active project, but it didn't get the green light until early last year. There's a lot to do, and development can change a lot. / abandon ideas, internal reboots, etc. Also, Phil Spencer says, Banjo fans, I hear you. So this is from, oh, you guys can see. Sorry about that. Share this. I got this from the Idle Sloth. Shout out to the Idle Sloth. He's a great news condenser, gaming news condenser. So this is Insider Nate Drake saying that Banjo Kazooie is in development, according to him. So for those of you who have played Banjo, a lot of us older folks, we love our Banjo. Because it was such a, what's the word? It had such that charm that Rare had, and a lot of people are holding on to that charm from way back in the day, and they want another Banjo game. Now, Xbox did do the Banjo Nuts and Bolts, which didn't review too well, and people said it's not like Banjo, as they were expecting a full 3D platformer like this. This amazing N64 classic that you see right here. So, are you excited or looking forward to Banjo? First off, did you play the first Banjo, Terry?
Nah.
The second Banjo?
I think I played one of them. I don't know. I remember climbing up palm trees to get coconuts or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, jiggies. You can climb the palm trees to get jiggies in the first level. Yes.
Something like that. like I couldn't get into it. It wasn't for me. I preferred Spyro. So I couldn't get into Banjo.
All right. Well, there you go. Terry couldn't get into Banjo, but are you looking forward to this remake? Or no. I'm not even going to call it a remake. I'm just going to call it to this new Banjo game.
No. No. I'm just not real big on platformers. I play some here and there. It's just not one of those things that I get excited for. But yeah, I mean, it does have its fan base though. So if it does happen, there's going to be a lot of people excited. So good for them. It's just, yeah, it's not for me.
Okay. Well, there you go. Not for Terry. DREADPOOL 3D platformers. They have their lovers and they have their haters. Banjo seems to have a lot of lovers. What do you think? Are you gonna? Did you play the first 2 or 3 Banjos?
Yes.
All right. Which one was your favorite?
Oh, Nuts and Bolts was definitely
Banjo
not
Tooie,
my favorite.
Or Banjo Nuts and Bolts?
Nuts and Bolts was definitely not the one. No. I'm gonna go with the first one. It's the classic. So yeah.
All right. First one. All right. And are you excited that according to Nate Drake, that that a new Banjo game is in development, early development, just a year in. So they haven't even started coding yet. They're probably still storyboarding.
Yes. I mean, I'm not crying about it. That's for sure. But no, I'm excited. I know Tiny Giant is a huge fan of Banjo Kazooie, and she
nice.
plays it. Yeah, she hasn't played it in a while, but she used to play it all the time.
Man, she gets to keep her gaming card for sure.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'll play it. That's for sure. Hopefully they go back to the OG style versus nuts and bolts.
Nuts and Bolts had its charm. I can't tell you the story of Nuts and Bolts.
I couldn't either. I mean,
that's my point.
You just kept on getting a witch, and then she'd get mad, and then you have to get some more parts for the stupid car that you got to build.
Yeah.
So again, it had its thing, but after a while, I forgot what the story was about because it was just basically the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, that's my whole point. And so that's the part that kind of just gets to me about it is I couldn't tell you the story of Nuts and Bolts other than build a better car every level. And at that, if you built it wrong, well, you were screwed. So yeah, there you go. So I love my Banjo. I played Banjo on my 64. I played Banjo on my Rare collection. I love my Banjo Kazooie, Banjo Tooie, Nuts and Bolts. I watched, I think, and after watching it, I decided, nah, I'm not going to ruin my Banjo experience with this. So I never really did give Nuts and Bolts a fair shake, but I don't think it deserved my time, if that makes sense. But if you recall, when Banjo Kazooie got announced for Smash Bros, the internet went crazy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so the internet went crazy. People want a new Banjo game. He's still beloved. People still like him quite a bit. And the 3D platforming, though, has changed since the N64 days, If you played a good modern platformer, I'm talking something like
Mario Wonders.
Yeah. Ratchet and Clank, the new ones.
Sure. I'm talking more like a puzzle platformer, something akin to like A Hat in Time. I don't know if anybody's played A Hat in Time. If you haven't, you should.
Yeah, that one.
Something akin to, let me think, what's another really good puzzle platformer that I can think of? Well, I really enjoy Moss on the VR. That's a really good puzzle platformer that has a good story, good storytelling.
Voodoo Vince.
Voodoo Vince, that's not a new puzzle platformer, but
it is a platformer.
It is a puzzle. It is a 3D puzzle platformer. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Just not new.
Banjo's not new either.
No, but Ratchet is more of a shooter platformer than it is action platformer than it is a puzzle platformer, whereas Banjo is a collectathon puzzle platformer.
I don't know what's the difference. A platformer is a platformer. Shooter platformer, lame platformer.
Lame. Well, I mean, it's the test. Like, what are you platforming for? Like a 3D platform. It's like a 3D over-the-shoulder shooter versus a 3D over-the-shoulder cover shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Like Gears of War. And then you can have just an action shooter like what's a 3D action shooter? Like Call of Duty. Mm-hmm. You don't take any cover in Call of Duty. It's weird. It's a war game, but you don't take any cover. So that's my point. You got to have the puzzle platformers. So, yeah, hopefully the new Banjo has a lovely puzzle platforming aesthetic. As we've gotten older, I've noticed that a lot of us don't like puzzle games anymore. So if you don't like some of these some of these newer puzzle games, you might not like the new Banjo game that's coming out. As if it sticks to the roots, it should be a puzzle platformer. Terry, you play plenty of 3D platformers that are more indie styled. What's your favorite 3D puzzle platformer if you have one?
That's an indie?
Well, as anything. That's more modern.
It's more modern. There actually is an indie one that I did. It was Skylar and something. I forgot the name of it. It's on Xbox. That one was a lot of fun. I really liked that one. But yeah, like I said, these games are kind of hit or miss for me. I do like puzzles myself. I do prefer puzzles. It's just I've lost interest in them because they've dialed them down. People have complained for so many years about puzzles being too hard.
Yes.
That now they're casual puzzles. You know? It's not like back in the day when you played original God of War and you had a puzzle that you'd be stumped on for weeks. You know what I mean? It's literally
like in the original.
Or like Tomb Raider. Like there was
Raiders,
literally I can't remember which one. It might have been the second game, but there was literally a puzzle in there that I got locked in a room and I couldn't figure out how to get out. You know, all I had was a stupid torch I could throw, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of this freaking area. That doesn't happen in games anymore. Now you can fly through a puzzle real quick. It doesn't take much brain power. But even still, there are just people just don't have patience for it. You think that I watch players on modern games that have puzzles, and it can be an easy puzzle. They'll still watch YouTube to figure out how to do it. Because
I hate it when that happens.
That
happens to me. Guilty. I'm not a streamer, but guilty.
They just have zero patience to just figure it out. It's not complicated. They just don't even want to bother.
It's called assistance.
There's if you're getting stumped and you can't figure it out and you want to look it up, that's one thing. If you're not even gonna try it, you're just gonna look it up. That's completely different. Like you put zero effort towards trying the puzzle.
I hate it when I get stumped in a puzzle platformer.
A lot of gamers do that today, and it's like, come on, man. Then why are you even playing a puzzle game if you don't even want to try the dang puzzle?
I hate it when I get stuck in the puzzle, and I watch the YouTube video, and it's like, oh, it's this button that's on the wall on the one wall that you just kind of ran past and didn't really look. I hate it when it's something simple like that. It pisses me off, man.
I think I was playing a game. I think it was Fran Bao, I think. And I was doing a puzzle. And I was streaming it, and people who watch my streams know that I love my puzzles and I want to figure them out myself. And I have a rule that under no circumstances is anyone to give me the solution. Dude, I had one of my avid viewers come in, and he was watching me do this puzzle. He went online, looked up the answer, and he posted it. I sat there and I gave him like a 30-minute rant yelling at him. I was so mad. I was like, because I love figuring it out, because the satisfaction you get when you figure it out is what I live for. Like I want to be able to figure it out. It's I think it's one of the things that I just don't get in these games anymore is because the puzzles suck.
Well, like the puzzles could be intelligent, like Portal 2 had some of the best puzzlers in a first-person shooter. Probably the best recent puzzle platformer is probably It Takes Two. That one game of the year. It had a great story.
It was a good game. It was a good game, but again, those puzzles were easy puzzles.
Right, but it's a puzzle platformer still.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you said, the puzzles are more simplistic, but yeah. If Banjo can nail the action, the world exploration, and the puzzling, I think it's going to be a fantastic game. These guys have a tall order on them simply because the genre hasn't grown with the industry as it should have.
I would say Phoenix. I think it was Phoenix Rising, the one that Ubisoft made.
Immortals Phoenix Rising.
Yeah, Immortals Phoenix Rising. That had a lot of puzzles in it. They kind of stuck with the same kind of idea with shooting arrows at things and moving like
statues,
like they had like these little orbs and they had like boxes and stuff. So they didn't get too creative, but they had enough variety within the kind that they were using to where it was still good. And that's a modern day. I mean, technically, I would say it's more of an action adventure, but you do a lot of platforming and a lot of puzzling. So it's kind of like the way that those games have gone. Because even if you look at like your Zelda games, it's kind of like that's kind of the direction those games have gone in. Where it's more action adventure with some puzzling. You know what I mean? So I would say for the most recent one, I would say Immortals Phoenix Rising is probably up there. I had a great time playing that game. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I would think that Immortals Phoenix Rising kind of good balance between action and puzzling. And I thought a lot of those puzzles are kind of, well, if you want to, here it is. Now, some of the puzzles are required, but a lot of the more difficult puzzles are like, do you want it? You know?
Yeah.
Like sometimes the puzzle can be the landscape itself. Like, how do I get in here? Right. So it's definitely there. So yeah, puzzle platformer can definitely be something that you get, or it can be hit or miss. So hopefully they can hit with this new Banjo game that hopefully comes out here in a little bit. So I will play it for sure. I think DREADPOOL said he would.
Yep.
And Shaddai and Terry are hard nose, from what I understand.
No, I haven't said anything.
No. I heard you say it, that you haven't played it.
No.
If you haven't played it in the last 30 years.
No, the only thing that I can say about Banjo was because I didn't have a Nintendo 64. A friend of mine let me borrow it, and I played it for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm like that, and the game is not that bad because I think that's, for me, it was like a competition between this and that Donkey Kong 64.
Oh man, talk about one of the hardest games ever made.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like switching back and forth to see, whatever. You just I like both. But for people that, for me, to make a new Banjo is something that I said it in the past, which Terry was like, no, nobody wants that because, I start making fun of the Skulls and Bones not being, no release date. So I'm like, we need a Banjo.
I'm not saying nobody wants it. Lots of people want it. I'm just saying it's not going to happen.
You said very clear, let it die.
Happening.
Yeah, you said let it die peacefully. Nobody wants it. But this is the thing for people that wanted to play it before the new release, whatever, it is included in the Rare Replay game.
Yep.
So you could play the original one there. Do people want this again? I don't know. To be realistically, that's more for us that we know what Banjo is. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you why. There is a game similar to this. It is called Ukulele. They're from the creators of actually the original Banjo. I think that's like half of Rare.
Yeah,
I remember I played a little bit of it. I couldn't get into that one either.
See, so Ukulele was not the greatest.
But you could tell that it has some Banjo formula there, but I don't know if they didn't know how to execute it correctly. But it does have some similarities there.
Wait, what's the one at Xbox, the exclusive one with the fox? Because that one was fun.
That's
Lucky Tail.
Super Lucky
Tail. Lucky Tail. That one was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that one. There wasn't really any kind of like puzzles in it though.
It wasn't bad, but it felt slow. Because it was
meant for children.
No, well, this one too, but but the thing is that Super Lucky Tail, instead of like the fox running like a fox, it looked like a ferret because it was moving. It was
and he would tunnel in the ground. You're right. It'd be more like a groundhog or something.
You're right. He was moving like a ferret. But I don't know if they're trying to go by the sales like any other would. Probably like 500,000 people will buy this game because it's like, this is for kids. Too much, another platformer that nobody wanted or requested it or something like that.
Plenty of people have wanted a Banjo.
No, yeah, I know. I'm one of them.
It's just one of those things, though. Unless these games are on Nintendo, they don't really sell very well. Even as much as people tout the new Ratchet and Clanks, those have not sold well. They lost a lot of money on those.
Is it because the magic is not there like it used to?
I think it's just because
in the golden era,
the audience. It's just the audience. People who like certain genres are on certain platforms, and they're not going to play a different thing just because it used to be on that platform in the golden years. So that's one of those things. Like, there's a reason why these games are still doing so well on Nintendo because they never really strayed away from it.
But at the same time, it's because they treat it correctly. Because lately,
that's what we're saying.
But they never strayed away though. So the people who like these, they just stuck to that platform. You know, people on PlayStation, they're not playing this stuff. Okay, they're playing Call of Duty.
No, because the way I understood was because Nintendo is pretty much like everybody call it a kids game. So if it's there, it will sell well, just because it's a kids game, you know. But I don't, you know, that's why I say if they treat it correctly, that's why we see it treated correctly.
Even if they treat it correctly, though, I mean, look at they redid Spyro, you know, and even, you know, people were happy to have that, but even that wasn't like that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Because it's just one of those things where people today don't go back to that kind of stuff. Young kids today aren't playing that. They're playing Fortnite and all that kind of stuff and Call of Duty. They're not going to go play Spyro because they have no memories of that. And then like our generation,
why you got to bring it back.
You know, and then bring it back. So it's just one of those things where there's the only people calling for this are the people who played it as a kid. Kids today aren't calling for this. They don't even know what this is for the most part.
My daughter's calling for this.
Your daughter is, but she's not the majority, is she? No. The majority of kids don't even know who Banjo Kazooie is. They literally think Master Chief is a Fortnite character. Kids today have no clue what this is.
But that's why you got to bring them back, so you know they could know and learn a little bit more where Banjo came from.
I think if this game is done right, it can be, another. It could be brought back definitely for sure, and get all the hype that it deserves. And you know, with Game Pass, people are at least going to try it.
People know who this is because it's in Smash Brothers,
right? You know the
but look at the way they made it.
I'm talking about the youngins. Oof. And the youngins, you know, they got that ADD. When they're done getting raging on Call of Duty, they're going to download a random game, and maybe it's going to be this.
Just make a battle royale Banjo.
A battle royale.
Oh gosh.
Whoever collects all the jiggies first. I mean, what are we talking about?
We see the eggs. Let's shoot eggs to their faces.
Yeah, it's a game that has charm. You know, back then, you know, it was getting the puzzle pieces to put the pictures together to travel. The first one, right? To travel between the levels. How you're going to travel between levels in the new one is going to be. It should be different, but we'll see. The jiggies definitely have to be in there, though.
I hope they continue. I hope they continue to support it if it's successful, if you want to call it like that. But
I hope it's a complete game. You know, not everything needs to be a live service. And you know, Phil Spencer did say that, you know, they want to make some smaller experiences. Banjo could be a smaller experience. It could be a 10-hour game.
Don't say that. Just keep it like it was in the past.
Banjo took me months.
We want that.
You know why it took me months? Because I didn't have access to the power.
Wait. Power. I don't get this. So it's okay for players to last like hours and hours playing those Dark Souls,
yes,
you know, masochist games, or Starfield that is almost 800 hours, and say the game is crap. That's okay, but it's not okay to put 40 hours for Banjo. I don't get it.
No,
it better be like it used to be.
I think it will be too long. It'll try people's patience.
I don't have the patience for Dark Souls or Elden Ring. I get a butt whooping.
Look, not everyone here can be level 230 like I am. Okay.
Another thing.
This is the kiddie version of a Souls
over Dark Souls. Yeah, that's true.
That's right. You want to give kids the Dark Souls. Get them a good puzzler. And Doggy Dog brings it up. Psychonauts 2 is one of the best 3D reset platformers.
That's true.
Yeah, and that one did really well. So who knows? Maybe Double Fine's working on it.
I thought Tugs for Bob was.
Maybe. We'll see who. We'll see who in a few years, in about 4 more years. But yeah, there you go. Banjo, rumored to be in development. I'm excited for it. And we'll see how it comes out. Let's check in with the chat. Let's see. Where was I? Somebody had jumped in. Black Cardi jumps in. Shout out to Black Cardi. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Lost Boomer jumps in. Thank you so much for joining us, Lost Boomer. You are the real MVP. Jesse Darby says, I would rather have Conquer. Ronnie Urianto says, hey, what's going on, Ronnie Urianto? This is actually my nephew. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. You are the real MVP. Jason Max joins us. Hold on. Here we go. Jason Max joins us. He says, remember, Xbox is number one. Absolutely. They say, don't need to sell on Game Pass. I try it. Yeah, exactly. Like, because I have a lot of nostalgia tied to Banjo. It might not hit for me. So Game Pass it is. And maybe it will hit. And then I'll regret that I didn't buy the collector's edition. It happens. It happens, guys. Let's see. Jesse Darby says, my buddy's kids would probably play it. They play the ones on Rare Replay. Yeah, Rare Replay is amazing.
Rare Replay. Yep.
Let's see. I want from Xbox is also to create content that is new IP from children who are grown up now and who are growing up now. And I want content for us too, but new IP, not just milk old content. I still love them. They are making new content. We just got Starfield.
It could be a mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It could be a mix.
That's just it. You gotta have. The thing with gamers is that we're greedy. We want them to keep the franchises we love, and we want new stuff too. And Xbox realizes this, and it's a balancing act. Mm-hmm. We might only get a new Banjo once every 10 years. Who knows? And Mr. Boomstick will go nuts when a new Banjo comes out. Yeah, he will. He's been one of the loudest proponents for this.
He also talked to Phil about it.
Oh, he personally talked to Phil about it?
He personally talked to Phil about it.
Phil was like, I heard you, man.
Must be nice to have
200 million.
Phil's ear. But hey, you know what? It is nice. Good for him.
That's what happens when you go to E3.
Give me a new Banjo. Shout out to Mr. Boomstick for being the voice of the people. The voice of the voiceless. If you know wrestling, you know where that's from. Who don't like a little foul-mouthed squirrel? That's right. So yes, there we go. All right, let's move along. What's next on our topics, guys? So that was topic number 1. Oh yeah. So it has been rumored. Share this tab. That the competition is getting a mid-gen refresh, but Xbox is not getting a mid-gen refresh. Instead, the rumor is that we will get the next Xbox next-gen Xbox in 2026. Break out those wallets. 2026 coming along. Start saving your money now.
I gotta start working on those reward points.
Get your reward points. That's right. So let's read this. Recent rumors from a pair of reliable industry insiders suggest that the next Xbox console could be coming sooner than players have expected. So, reliable insiders suggest that a new Xbox console could be launching in 2026, possibly as an updated version or a new system altogether. Rumors speculate that this new console may replace the previously leaked discless Xbox Series X. The timing aligns with the typical lifespan of a console, and Microsoft may be aiming to compete with the rumored PlayStation 5 Pro. Of course, this article is here brought to you by Game Rant, GameRant.com. So the next Xbox console could be coming sooner. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Let me see. All right, let's just get to it. So the competition is going full. They're trying to repeat what happened last cycle. They're doing a mid-gen refresh. A lot of us have said that there's no need for mid-gen refresh because they haven't even tapped into the full potential of these consoles yet. But a lot of us are kind of like, well, Xbox is going to lose the power game if they don't. So Xbox also has said that they want to get away from generations and make your Xbox more like a PC. So, you have your 1080s, your 1070s, your 2070s, your 3080s, and your 4080s. And games work across a vast variety of those. So maybe that's more it. Like they're not going to end the generation. They're just going to move it along to the latest and greatest Zen. What was the Xbox? Zen 2? And I think we're all the way up to Zen 5 now. And by the time this launches, maybe Zen 6?
The Zen 6 is coming out next year.
There you go. Zen 6 is coming next year. So, RDNA 1, 2, 3, our Xbox is RDNA 2. RDNA 3 has come out since, right? So maybe it's just a better, more powerful Xbox, not necessarily a next-gen Xbox. As Xbox with their backwards compatibility program has made everything backwards compatible. Like, I love that I can still play Command & Conquer on Steam. Command & Conquer came out in the 1990s. No matter how much I upgrade my computer, I can still play Command & Conquer. To me, that's awesome. And maybe that's what Xbox is aiming for here, because I do feel that 2026 is a little early. Gaming generations last 6 to 8 years. So yeah, it is right in there, right in that 6-year mark. But I feel that it's a little early, especially with the heavy investment in gaming. You want to get the most bang for your buck. Hence why we're console players. Well, the value for console has always beat the value for PC. And so now if Xbox gets into this, we're going to update the console every 6 years or every 5 years or whatever, however short they want to do that. It doesn't mean that your other console will automatically stop working. They're just going to update it. And as I said, this could be very much a la PC, because when the 40 series graphics cards came out, no game was optimized for the 40 series cards. No game used it. It just released. And eventually the technology caught up to it. And as console gamers, we're not accustomed to that. When a new console comes out, we expect a game to come out for it that's already optimized. So we have two roads we can continue. The traditional road, which is new console, new games, out with the old, in with the new, right? Or we can do this, a new console every few years. We're not going to send out dev kits too early. You're not going to get launch games with it. Games are just going to work on it. And they're going to be brute forced to work on it because it's so powerful until they get optimized for it. And maybe they will get optimized, maybe they won't. But eventually the games will catch up to this and, leave other consoles in the dust, if you will. Like, new games will just stop coming out for that console eventually. Right? So that might be, in my opinion, that's where I think this is going. And I support it, and I don't at the same time, because that has always been the big draw of the new console, is the new games. Like, let me see the jump in power. Let me see the jump in this, the jump in that, right? And now we might not get that anymore. So I'm a little on the fence on it. But Terry, how are you feeling for a new console, possibly in 2026? And what if it takes the PC approach?
I actually am intrigued by this, because this is kind of a power play. This is, if you're looking at it from a marketing standpoint, this means if you're looking at a way to mess with your competitors, this means you are advertising your next-gen console while your competitor, PlayStation, is doing their mid-gen refresh. So now they are 2 years behind the game because they're doing their mid-gen, and we've already moved on to the next one. So now they're going to be like scrambling to figure out, we just going to ditch the mid-gen and then try to get our other one out, and it's not going to be ready, and then that could cause them a lot of problems. Or, so this is literally a way for them to basically catch PlayStation with their pants down. So on how are they going to try to get their products out? Because everybody has, their timeline on when they plan to have things out. So this is basically making them have to jump the gun. And I think this is actually creative, because this is a way to kind of get Xbox ahead of the game. So this is kind of brilliant. So I like it. I like it because, this is definitely going to drive competition, because if they're a whole generation ahead, and then PlayStation will be 1 gen behind, and Nintendo is going to be 2 gens behind, like that's crazy. That's crazy. So it'll definitely shake up the place. So I'm all for it. I kind of just want to see the mass blowout that will happen.
Yeah. So are you of the mentality here of this console just being a kind of like the PC approach, the new Zen 5, RDNA 3 or 4 with it?
Yeah, I'm all for that because I mean,
but no games optimized
yeah,
for it yet.
Yeah, it's fine because literally consoles are getting to that point to where they really aren't going to be able to get much better as a standalone system because they're always are behind PC already.
Always, yeah.
So
this could put it more on par.
Exactly, they're always behind because if we're spending 6 to 10 years on a console generation, they can never catch up to PC, never. So this is the way to go. Consoles, you know, we need to change the way they're doing things. You know, having the convenience of a plug and play box is great, and that's why people prefer it over PC. But if you're a tech person, you're always behind on tech. If you're a console,
yeah, trust me, don't I know it?
So it's kind of like that thing. It's like but so yeah, no, I think that's a great way to do it. And honestly, consoles are going to phase out anyway because we're in a digital age. You know, eventually, I foresee everything going 100% cloud once they get it stabilized and working the way that it's supposed to. Consoles will go away and everything will be cloud. It's not there yet. So, you know, we might have another 1 or 2, you know, console generations left before we're there, but it's coming. You know, the console war will be dead. Everything will be on the cloud, and it'll be the battle of the services.
Yeah, the content war, a la like Netflix and Disney Plus are doing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Terry's all for the new console in 2026, even if it launches with 0 games optimized for it. She just wants the power. Are you going to buy it?
Probably. I mean,
what if it's $800?
Still, dude. When the Series X came out, I bought 3 of them.
Jesus Christ.
I bought one
here
for
I
me.
was struggling to find one. God, I
got 3 of them. I bought one. I bought one for me, one for my husband, and one for my best friend. And then my best friend, of course, he paid me for his. But you know, I got 2 from Target, and I got 1 from Target and 2 strictly through Microsoft's marketplace. Like I was ready. I was in there. I was getting it. Like, you know, so
she had those 3 computer screens working.
No, I did it all on just one. But
awesome.
but yeah. So like I'm all for it. You know, because for me, it's just I want the games and I want them to continue to make better games. And I'm tired of people complaining about how the dev kits aren't good enough. They're being held back by this or that or other. So if we move away from the 10-year plan to where they just kind of just drop like the next thing like PC does, then maybe they'll stop whining and we can just focus on games. Just focus on games.
All right, there you go. So let's check in with the chat real quick before it escapes from me. This is a very good topic. The chat is loving it. Jesse Darby says, I'm glad they decided to do the next gen console. If it's true, because 3 different SKUs makes it hard for the developers, yeah? PlayStation Browse gonna be $700, maybe $8, knowing Sony. I think he means PlayStation 5 Pro. Let's see. I think people forget that Microsoft focused on cloud and AI, so I think Server Blades upgrade will make more profit sense. So next gen console is not making any sense to me in 2026. Okay, so he's more interested in the cloud side. That sounds just like the 360 era, remember? I don't understand, Jesse Darby. You lost me.
No, I understand because it was a year ahead.
Go to his
a year ahead. Okay, they launched early. Okay,
yeah,
that's
because that was my next slide.
Yeah.
360.
Let's see. To make xCloud run better on handheld, they need to upgrade the service blades. Yeah, there's a lot of optimization left. Let's see. Jesse Darby says, I told D-Batch that this is what I said they were doing. He said, not what they're do. That's not what they're do.
That's not what they
do.
Yeah, that's not what they do.
Okay. And yeah, just okay. So I get it. So yeah, here it is. He explains himself. Yeah, because the Xbox 360 came out when the PS2 was still out. Then that's when the PlayStation came out with the PS3 saying it was $600. You need a second job. I remember that. Internet has to be improved globally for cloud to work. Yeah. And they're talking about the GPU being ARM. That's not happening. It will ruin all the backwards compatibility. It needs to stay x86. ARM is a whole new architecture. It would. I think eventually we will, but I think that it needs a lot more planning, and I don't think it's going to happen that quick. RWK88 says, "Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us, RWK88. You are the real MVP." Yeah. Let's see. They have to work everything out with the license, and when you buy something, you got to be able to own it, and not them being able to take it away. I don't foresee that happening, my man. Sorry, Jesse Darby. If anything, as consumers, we own less and less and less as the years are going by.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. But this show is copyright, iconic video games. Yeah. Shaddai, a new console, and maybe it's gonna be more PC-ish, where it's gonna launch without any optimized games for it, possibly, as it takes 6 to 8 years to make it takes Xbox like 10 years to make a game. But it takes 6 to 8 years to make a console, and the Xbox Series X came out just, I guess in 2024, 4 years ago. So right now, 3 years ago, do you think that, are you okay with this just being a more powerful Xbox with taking the PC approach?
Okay. When you say consoles should take or will they take a PC approach, you know what came to my mind? Steam machines.
Yeah, Steam machines that tanked.
Yep.
Tanked.
Yeah, the Steam machine, when you can customize your console similar to what you're doing to a PC.
Not quite.
But they have some ways of.
You need to think more like an iPhone, where the iPhone 14 is not as good as the iPhone 15, but you can't customize the iPhone 15.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they come with a crazy idea like that.
Mm-hmm.
If they're trying to make, I'm gonna put it like this: if they be crazy to be like the first company to create a console that you can customize it your way, but not very close to the PC, and say, hey, well, you got this chip. Let's say right now it's like this. What is it? The 7000 series, but you could only maximize to the 6000 series on the console. I wouldn't be surprised Microsoft doing some crazy thing like that. You know what I mean? It's not possible, but I wouldn't be surprised for them to create something like that. If they're not going to create games, but they want to go for their power and, all that. But for me, I'm with you. 2026 feels very, very close. I feel that the Series X still have life in them. But let's see how it goes. I'm still not gonna buy it. Let's see how it goes. Right now, they're trying to go for the 4K 60 debacle. If they release it, that's pretty much their main goal. Like they wanted to make it everything native, so they don't have to deal with it again and have some crazy bottleneck, even though they will have it. They're just trying to break some crazy barriers. I think that's what it is. Also, they're trying to be ahead of the competition. Like I'm with, I think JC Darby said that when the 360 era. Also, another tactic that could say, well, you know what? We will have the next gen when literally they don't have it, to see if Sony will fall for it. Like, oh, since this is what they have, oh, we could do this better now. It's one of those tactics too. So,
all right,
let's see how it goes. Right now, I don't feel like.
Would you? So you said you're not gonna buy it?
No, it still has some juice in that thing.
The X. Yeah, but that's the PC approach, though. Like I had a 1080, a 1070 up until this year.
Yeah.
And just this year is finally when I felt that games were just not good enough for my 1070 was, sorry. I felt that my 1070 was not good enough for the games that are coming out, and that's why I upgraded.
You can upgrade when you're ready to upgrade, because
Yeah.
the games will be available for everyone. I mean, you could still have a really old system and still play games that are made today. Yeah, you'll have to play it on the lowest settings, but you could still do it. It's still your choice.
Yeah,
I mean, I still got a 1080, and I just played the Assassin's Creed Mirage on PC at the highest settings on my 1080, no problem.
Yeah, some games will still run, but some games won't. Like Starfield won't run fantastic on a 1080.
So I mean, it's so it gives upgrade when you want to upgrade instead of being like, okay, this generation is officially over. Now we're gonna force everybody to upgrade. Because
I like that approach. And the old skills become cheaper. The Series X could drop down to $300.
Let me ask you
coming out for it.
Let me ask you a crazy idea. I know this is not gonna happen, but can they make it compact, the GPU, by any chance?
GPU is compact.
It's already compact.
Well, it doesn't.
No. I mean, like it could fit a console, so you could swap it.
No,
dude, they have
PCs
right now
that defeats the purpose of a console.
No, because I see those graphic cards like that big, but I'm like, what about if it goes to like 50%
They make smaller ones though. Like
okay.
literally, they have PCs, so you can get like a desktop PC that's like this big.
Nook.
Thing.
Okay.
So like,
they make Nooks. These are what I'm getting. These are what I'm getting.
Oh man, Deadpool has just leaked the next Xbox console. Oh man. Demonetized, copyright strike.
right now, Google has a thing that they're making where you basically can have your PC in your pocket. It just plugs into any TV or monitor you want. It literally fits in your pocket.
Wait a minute, I did saw that. I think Nvidia did that thing.
Google's doing it right now to kind of go with their Chromebook thing. But
there was also the Chrome Puck that they were doing. Same thing. Stadia.
Yeah, you will never find me with a Chrome anything.
Yeah. Well, here
like when Chrome OS was announced, I thought that was great, but it just the more I looked into it, the more that it was always connected to the cloud and it wouldn't work. Like everything was cloud, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When you think about it, because you guys are already taking away some of the points as you're chipping away. 360 was a year ahead, right? So they were going to work on a refresh, but with the PlayStation Pro coming out, the refresh was not going to give it any more power. So they had to do something, and they didn't want to go with the Pro because if you fight with a Pro versus Pro, who's going to win? It's going to be compared. They already said that they don't want to be compared, so they're going to go next gen, right? Yeah. So now you go Pro versus next gen. There's no comparison there because you made a huge leap, right? So and that's the thought process. The thing is, already that the Pro will be compared to next gen and be like, well, what's next gen if the Pro is just as good or comparable? So you already will see that on the internet. Now here's the other.
Well, I mean, and that's my whole point. Like last gen, I could understand the mid-gen refreshes because both the PS4 and the Xbox One were weak out of the gate.
They did it for the 4K TVs.
Yeah, but this gen, Zen 2 was barely a year old when these came out, and RDNA 2 was brand new when this came out. And so now, it's just, well, there is no need for mid-gen refresh. What are you going to refresh?
The Wi-Fi, the
I'm not paying
hard drive size.
$100 for better Wi-Fi on the console. I'm direct connect.
Yeah, but again, there's many fashions there when it comes to all this. Now, here's the other part.
Yes.
If you switch it over to next gen, right, and you guys were talking about 3 SKUs, just push out the last SKU, and now you make your Series X your lower SKU. And your news, whatever Brooklyn's replacement would be, the Brooklyn 2, whatever. Right. So that one there would be your top of the line, and all you do is you just keep on pushing that one out for however long you need to until you push out the next gen each time. So that, because again, I just got them playing on the Xbox One Forza Motorsport, the new one, right? How is it possible? It's impossible, right?
Right.
Well, cloud.
Baby.
So again, and I didn't notice any issues other than the fact that I didn't have game mode on. Once I put game mode on, then everything was good to go. And here's the other part of it that I was thinking was funny. I thought I brought it up here too. What if they did make a pro version of the Xbox, the Series X? It would be considered the Series XP, one of the best softwares that they had.
More experience.
I like calling
to
it
you.
the series. It has to have an X, so XP, yeah, X Pro. If a lot of people can take it as X Pro.
X Pro, XP. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, when it comes to all that, and then now, Shaddai, you're talking about the chipset. You're talking about the CPU. Okay, it's not a CPU like PC where you just swap
APU,
it out.
Yeah.
It's an APU. That's the thing, and it's not that you can't just swap it out like that. That's why when these things are made, when it comes to consoles, otherwise they'll just switch over to PC.
Yeah, but I'm thinking more like a little bit more cheaper than that. I know what you're talking about, but what about if it was like half a price or whatever the case may be?
What that would be the Series X drop down in price. I mean, they just sold it for $350. What is the price for the Series X or the Series S? Normally $300, $350. You know what I mean? So you just shift that one down and then bring out another one. You know, I mean,
just that monstrosity of a PC compared to a compact. You know.
Okay, but guess what? These cell phones, this is $1,200, right? Every year, $1,200 versus $500. What makes more sense?
Every year, good God, I want to make the kind of money Dreadpool makes.
I know, right?
But here's the difference. I went from an S21 to an S23 because they had a deal for me. They gave me a deal to jump. Otherwise, I was gonna.
Yeah, they gave $800.
Yep.
I remember.
You also have the difference of you're paying like $20 a month for it versus it all up front.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You can get on the payment plans.
Yes. Most people are just paying it off on their thing.
Now, if they went with the cell phone model, thank you. If they went with the cell phone model, just think about that. You'd be trading in your Series whatever and get the next version of it. You just trade it in, you pay a little bit more money, and you get the latest greatest. So again, it just makes sense. If you're going to go for the refresh, and they already said it's an old model because of the ABK deal, why not just go ahead and push it out? And again, think about Cyberpunk, right? Those consoles, that was actually made for the One and the PS4. It was not made for PlayStation 5 or the Series X or S. Okay, it was not made for those, but those were brute forcing the game to be playable. So think about that, and that's what will happen again. They'll make these games because again, these games are taking 8 years in the making. So if they're well, not yet, but they're going to be getting to that point for 5 to 6 years. So if you start now, you're already out of the generation. But if you don't have the next gen console or the next pro version to aim for, what's the point? You already lost out on that market.
Yeah,
you're behind.
Yeah, and it could be very much like I'm going to use Destiny 2. Eventually, Destiny 2 came out for the 360, I think.
No, it was
it
was on the Scorpio.
Destiny 1.
Destiny 1 came out for the 360, but eventually, I think it was Wrath of the Lich King. No, sorry, that's World of Warcraft. What is it? What was it?
Taken King.
The Taken King. Yes, the Taken King. When that update came out, it was so serious. They straight said it will not work on the 360. It will only work on the One.
Because they had to move on.
Yeah, and Destiny 2 is now doing the same thing. One of their newer updates eventually will stop working for the One and be series consoles only. And so the industry is already moving to this cell phone / PC model. Xbox is just making it official.
What about Cyberpunk?
Yes, Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty, next gen only.
Next gen only.
That's right.
Even though it was made for the main game was made for last gen, which they had to go back and tweak and fix.
Yeah.
Now the add-on is next gen only, or
Absolutely.
this gen, whatever.
Let me check in with the chat before we continue because I'm loving this topic real quick, guys. Let's see. Shout out to Boogeyman who joins us. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, "Happy New Year, everybody! Happy New Year, Boogeyman!" And it is already the 2024 in some areas of the world. So Happy New Year to you guys.
Yeah,
How's 2024 looking? Right? It should be.
We're 23.5.
Let me think. No, not yet. Not quite yet. A few more hours.
Oh no, over here is 10:18. So yeah.
In some areas of the world. Okay. So let's see. Legendary Yobi. Shout out to Legendary Yobi. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Love the new art. Love it. Let's see. I'm all for the cloud future, but the governments to put laws or a deal in place to get rid of the data caps and throttling for a cloud future to be 100% viable in the USA. Absolutely, 100% agree. Get rid of that FTC ability of them to do that. Internet at this point should be a utility. Just saying. Right? Let's see. Yeah, instead of these regulators go after companies want to emerge, they need to do something about the license and issue. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you so much for joining us. Happy Cloud Gamer. You are the real MVP. He says, I need to go. New Year's party. Have a happy New Year. See, I told you it's almost New Year some places. Yep. Almost. And shout out to Noof Nukem. Boom, boom, kaboom. Hello, Axel, Terry, Dread, and Shaddai. Thank you so much for joining us. Noof, you are the real MVP. No need for a refresh unless it's your armpits. Gross.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see. Let me see where we at. Let's see. Lost Boomer says, I paid no more than 100 euros for my phone. Yeah. And so Noof says, I'm only for a new Xbox if they have a can't miss lineup. Well, that's what we're talking about. We don't think they're going to have a lineup. If they do this new console in 2026 with the PC approach, I don't think they're going to have a lineup. Well, they're just going to keep making the games.
Think about it, though. If you have, we still have games on the Series X that's optimized for Xbox One. We have games that are optimized for Series X. They will push those out there. And the lineup is the roadmap. There's your lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a roadmap for the next couple of years.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna be eating cake and pie and everything. And meat and potatoes, veggies, it's all there.
The lineup looks fantastic already. I mean, who was it? Somebody said that, I think it was Special Nick who said that Xbox has a 15-year roadmap right now with games. Jeez, so they have a lineup.
And these studios have smaller dev teams that are building the next whatever. So think about that. So the studios aren't just one studio anymore. They're building up from there, and now they've got multiple teams in there working on whatever game they're working on, and the next one, and then another one. So it's like we're gonna have a cornucopia of games coming out of Xbox, let alone the consoles that are going to be supporting it all the way through.
I think it's just going to be a new console, and upgrade if you want, don't if you don't. If you do upgrade, you get access to some of the new features on the games, and if you don't, well, you stay in the past. Much like PC. Like when I upgraded, some of these games went from low graphics all the way to ultra, and you could see it, but it was still the same game.
See, well, here's a beauty, right?
Yeah,
I went from a 1660 to a 4080.
Dang, what a jump! What a jump!
Yeah. I didn't notice much of a difference.
No.
Okay, I mean, yes,
this gameplay is king overall.
I was able to put Call of Duty on extreme, right?
Dang.
I was able to do extreme everything. As I was playing it, my brother-in-law was over, and I even let him play a little bit too. So as we were, taking turns, and then he kind of went off in the other room, I switched over to Xbox, and I was playing there. He comes back, he's like, oh, you're still with the controller, huh? And I was like, yeah, I prefer the controller over mouse and keyboard. I just know where everything's at. My fingers don't have that kind of dexterity for the keyboard memorization. I don't have that.
Yes. Right.
And so he's like, oh, okay. And I was like, hold on a second. He's like, and I said, what do you think about this? It still looks good, right? He's like, what do you mean it still looks good? Of course it still looks good. He didn't realize I switched from 4080 on my the 5950X PC with the 4080 to the Xbox Series X. He didn't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I played Starfield on both my console, my Series X, and my PC, and the most notable difference is the frames.
that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Now that's some people are frames. I like frames, so I now prefer to play Starfield on my PC, even though the only way I can get these frames though is to lower the graphics, and on Xbox I can't lower the graphics. They're at 4K. Whereas on PC I'm down to I lowered the graphics, and because I prefer the frames, and man, what a difference frames make. But yeah, again, I don't think it's going to have a lineup. It's just going to be the games. It's just going to be the current games, and you can play them if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to. You can upgrade if you want. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2027. Jason Max says 2027 sounds better for a new Xbox. Launch it with Blade, Elder Scrolls 6, Call of Duty, and Banjo Kazooie. And again, I think we're going to get away from that launch lineup stuff.
Yeah, that's the outdated, console mentality. Like, think about it. No, they're
launch lineup.
Yeah, like you got to think on PC terms. Like any game that comes out that's brand new, like your Blade, your Elder Scrolls, or whatever, I can still play that on my 1080. Yeah, I'm not gonna have it on the super highest setting, but I could still play it. It's not. There's no such thing as a launch lineup on PC.
Yeah, there was no 40.
The games just come out and you just play them on whatever you want to play on.
Same thing with phones, PC and phones. Same scenario.
Exact thing. You
there's not like a new.
You want to.
There's not like a when you upgraded from your 2021 to 2023 Samsung, there wasn't like a new a new TikTok app exclusive to your 2023 Samsung.
Upgrade your hardware when you want to and your wallet can handle it versus being like, okay, now I have to do it because they're no longer supporting the previous generation. You know what I mean? That's the idea you guys have to get into.
Yeah, I mean,
but I also like how direct Xbox is. Like they straight said, we're only going to support the Xbox One with new games for 1 or 2 more years, and then we're done.
Mm-hmm.
And true to their word, they stuck to it. So I like it. When 2026 comes around and they launch this new console, they're gonna say, hey, we're only gonna support, I don't know, let's just say the Series S. We're only gonna support the Series S for 1 or 2 more years, and then we're done. If you want to keep playing, you got to go to Xbox Series X. And it would be even better if they did a trade-up program.
Sounds like a Don Matrix type of situation. You want to play
if they
all
did
games?
A trade-up program, do you know how many Xbox faithful would be there? Because you get money, you get your console subsidized, your new console subsidized. People love that stuff.
And the fact that, think about this, the reason why we had launch titles is because it was another generation with no games. Think about that. If you didn't have those games for the launch, you didn't have anything because all those games were not forwards compatible. Now the consoles are the games are backwards compatible on these newer consoles. If we didn't have that, that's the whole point. That's why the Series X didn't have a launch lineup, because it was already, everything was there. The library was there. What more do you need?
The launch game was supposed to be Halo and it got delayed. So yeah.
Luke
has a point here. The Series X, the Series had the worst lineup in Xbox history. It didn't have one. All it had was next gen upgrades. Yeah. But I think that's the route they want to go from here on out.
But that's the thing. They're not starting fresh. If they were starting fresh, then I would say, yes, we need to have that.
It's not the Nintendo model where the Nintendo Wii U games just don't work with the Switch.
Right.
Different cart format, different hardware, different architecture. I mean, the difference in Nintendo hardware is so vast. It's difficult to get it all working on one piece of hardware.
Except for the new Switch.
Hopefully the new Switch is backwards compatible. I hope so.
That one there's
for my wallet. I hope so.
It's going to have some.
Because I love my Switch. If you know me, you know I love my Switch.
It's going to go the way of the Game Boy and the Advance and so forth, and the 3DS, 2DS, all that stuff. It's going to go in that fashion.
I certainly hope so. RWK88 says, I'm still really wondering why we have the Series X. These games could run on the One X. No, they can't. No, they absolutely cannot.
They can if you're cloud streaming.
They certainly cannot run natively. Trust me, those Jaguar cores are the true potatoes of the gaming world.
Yes, they are definitely holding back gaming, but
they held back gaming when they were new.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. But now they are not when you cloud stream, because again, you're playing directly off of Series X when you're streaming it on your One. So again, put out the new one, shift everything down, phase out the small one. You're good to go.
Yeah, I think that's, because a lot of us did say that, the Xbox Series consoles, our Xbox One X could handle some of this stuff, but once you start seeing the AI and those load times, you were like, no, can't. I'm those load times. I'm never going back to 5-minute load times ever again.
Yeah,
just
but
saying.
I also
just saying, guys.
I also had an NVMe on the OG Xbox One.
Yeah, but it couldn't process the data that fast.
The load times weren't that long.
I don't know. Did you ever play Red Dead Redemption 2, man? Those load times were crazy long.
Yes, but they weren't as long.
All right, let's see. Ice Cream Gaming says, hey, shout out to you, Ice Cream Gaming. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. And she is the mod of the channel. So be careful, guys. Watch your tone. Let's see. Noob says they need the tech to hit steady 4K 60 so they can focus on high-res textures and better graphics overall. So
I think that's where the next...
I don't think you can. You either focus on frames or you focus on high-res textures and graphics. It's either or. Well, there's some trade-offs. There's some medium points, like maybe 1440 or 2K 60, something like that. But 4K 60 with high-res textures and better graphics, I mean, even a 4090 on these new games can't brute force it. And a 4090 is $2,000.
Well, here's the other thing. If you make the tech better, the software gets bigger and better at the same time, which again brings down the tech to not being able to do as much. So you're at a catch-22. So if you want games from 2013, then yeah, those kind of games could be 4K 60.
Absolutely.
Those kind of games. But they're not going to look great. They're going to be in 4K, but they will not have textures. So what good is Banjo and Kazooie looking 4K if they look like the way they looked on Nintendo 64? It's just
4K as pre-rendered backgrounds, I guess.
Yeah, as technology advances, so does the software side of it, and you have more data to fill in. That's why Call of Duty is 250 plus gigs.
Screw that game.
You know what I mean?
I really hope Xbox optimizes that down. You use that velocity architecture.
They have machine learning, which is machine learning. They've been talking about that for years. What is that? Oh, that's AI.
Yep.
The same bad thing that nobody else wants to use. But yeah, exactly. They have the low res machine learning for high res textures, or vice versa. That they're high res from low res textures to save on space. But again, if you're not using that information from the get go, it's not going to be there, and that's the problem when we say, use the tools. So, but when they start a project, now that they hopefully will be using those tools that have been provided.
Mesh shading is coming around now. Let's see. Ice Cream Gaming says, I'm out tonight with my dad and stepmom house for New Year's party. Drinks again. Woo! That's right. Let's see.
Everybody's getting lit.
Shout out to Splendiferous for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says, what's up, Eternal Headache? What's going on, Splendiferous? Thank you so much.
What's going on, Splenda?
Noof Nukem. Of course, if you know Noof, he loves the traditional model. He says, but you need the big name games that fully take advantage of the hardware upgrade.
Yep. You need to.
I will agree with you. As I stated when we started talking about this, that's the way the industry was. New console, new games lineup, right? That's a launch lineup was big. But if you're going the PC route where you're just, here's the Xbox Series Next, and it has Zen 5 and Zen 5, right? Yeah, and RDNA 4, RDNA 5. There's no way you could have coded a big game in that time to be specific to that console.
A game like this one?
Oh, a game like Elder Scrolls, yeah. No?
Elder Scrolls 6?
That's right, Elder Scrolls 6, Maybe Halo Infinite 2.
Is that big enough?
It could be. Could be launching with it. Blade could launch with it.
Yeah.
But here's our thing. If Halo or Elder Scrolls or Blade launches with a Xbox 2026 console, it's also going to launch for Xbox Series. It's not going to be just out with the old, in with the new stuff like it used to anymore. That model, I think, it died this generation, as Dreadpool brought up. It died this generation. Let's see. Was Alan Wake 2 only PS5 and Series? Yes. I don't think it came out for PS4, did it? It definitely didn't come out for the one.
No.
Yeah.
Next gen.
Yeah.
Or current gen, whatever.
Yeah, and this is our point, Noof. You're hitting it right on the nail right on the head here. I noticed a good jump between Xbox to Xbox One X. I'm going to assume he means 360 to Xbox One X. Okay. But less noticeable from 1X to Series X. Yeah, and that's our point, is because a lot of these games were made to still work on the older hardware. There was no real launch lineup. There was no out with the old in with the new, console, Xbox Series X console exclusive from Xbox.
We're also running into diminishing returns.
Mm-hmm.
So when you think about it, unless we go to 8K, but who's got 8K? And really, when small screens, it's just like 720p and 1080p. When you're talking about small screens back in the day, you could not notice the difference.
You really could not.
You know what I mean? So you had to go to a bigger TV, and then once they got even bigger with the 4Ks, that's a big jump. Hence why we went to a 1X. But again, we're on the same field here. So even this next generation console, you're not going to see much, So again, I'm playing on Call of Duty on the PC. It's not the highest tier PC as of now, but
it's no
playing
slouch.
Call of Duty was no slouch. But again, putting everything in extreme and not noticing the difference between that and an Xbox at 4K 60. Yes, I had more frames, but nobody really noticed the visuals.
Graphically, yeah. And if you took 2 still shots, you wouldn't notice.
No.
Unless you zoom in 300 times.
So, yeah, it's just...
Yeah, I mean, the stuff you're aiming for now is like less screen tearing, more stabilization of the heart of the games now to increase immersion.
Yeah, so
I think that's really more the goal these days.
But I think he's right, though, with the 4K 60, that, we need to get to the point of 4K as a standard.
And 60 as the standard.
60 again. As a standard. Nothing less, because we're getting to that point.
Yeah, gamers are demanding it, especially now that, Xbox is releasing the same games on PC. They can see that PC gamers are eating good. So maybe that's why the early 2026 game, the 2026 Xbox console is launching, to try to close that gap between PC gamers and console gamers at a reasonable price.
Well, we know the Supers are coming out next year, and the 500 series or the 5000 series will probably be pushed back another year again. So
yeah, so we're in the second year of 40 series cards.
Third year,
yeah, which for a while there you couldn't even get 1 year in the series.
Hence why I had the 1660.
Yeah, so
$700 for a $200 card.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Shout out to Crispy Rambo for joining us. He says, "Morning, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP." Let's see, what do we got? The King joins us. Shout out to the King. You are the real MVP. He says, "Hello, everybody." Or everyone? Sorry. Let's see. I think it would have to be the Series X. They support not Series S, because it would be underpowered at the time, way underpowered. Yeah, and that's what we're getting at, right? They would definitely move that back. Let's see. Hellblade is the first original game that's using the full potential of the console. We will start seeing a big difference in first-party titles as they don't have to give PlayStation parity. That's not how you spell parity, but yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I think this gen finally starts with Hellblade. I think it started development late enough in last generation where they didn't have to restart development for it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Hellblade is going to be, I think that's when this gen begins graphically.
Well, look at the Clockwork game. That one there is all this gen.
Oh yeah. Whenever that one comes out, I'm all in.
South of Midnight.
Yeah.
Another one. So again, a lot. They have to start at the right time.
Oh yeah, Flight Simulator. That's right, Flight Simulator. Yeah. Remake Station 5. Shout out to Remake Station 5. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the real MVP. He said Flight Sim 2024 will blow your mind. Dude, Flight Sim 2020 blew my mind. I'm not gonna lie. I love that game. I love how good it looks. Like if you can sit there and tell me that Flight Sim doesn't look good, I know you're lying. Because it crippled even the highest end of PCs.
It doesn't look good. When you watch,
we lost Dreadpool.
when you watch Flight Sim at 144 megahertz or 144p, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, at 144p. Yeah.
When you look at it that way, if you use Twitter logic.
Yeah, if you're comparing Flight Simulator looking good on Twitter instead of 4K on PC, you're
14 what was it? 144p, and we zoom in and look at the jaggies, look at all the pixelization.
Yeah.
Oh my god. The world is falling apart.
Yeah. They're just now taking advantage of this generation. Avatar, Alan Wake 2, Hellblade 2, visuals are just the start. Absolutely our point. There is no way in 2026 that a game is going to come out taking advantage of any 2026 hardware that comes out, console or otherwise. Your phone, your console, your PC, ain't no game. There's not going to be a single game in the world that's going to take advantage of all that. Especially now that phones are finally starting to get good enough to play PC games. I mean, we're getting there, guys. We are getting to that area where it's all intermixing. We finally got in our transistors, and what do they call the ray cores? Ray tracing cores. They used to be called CUDA cores. They're called something else now.
Depends on whose company you're looking at.
Yeah, all that is going to be good. Yeah, and Jesse Darby says Gear 6 could launch with it. It could, but it still won't be fully optimized and only to Xbox 2026.
The rumored Marcus Phoenix collection could be coming out.
Absolutely.
So you never know.
Yeah, and Dan the Man Cunningham joins us. Shout out to Dan the Man Cunningham. You are the real MVP. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's see. Oh yeah. Remake Station 5 says, isn't Gear 6 using Unreal 5? Oh my gosh, like the Matrix demo? That would be something. Yes. That would be something.
They are.
Yeah. Absolutely, that would be something. But Terry, you know what? Well, all right, so Dreadpool, you never answered the question. Are you getting the 2026 console in 2026 if you can get your hands on it?
I thought I answered it without answering it.
Of course. Of course he is. All right. So Terry is a no, right?
No for what?
No, she said yes.
No, Shaddai's a no. Sorry. Shaddai's a no.
I'm going with a no.
Terry, were you a yes or a no on the 2026
I was a yes.
console?
I was a yes.
I was a yes. I am also a yes if I can get my hands on it.
We all know how hard it is to get past the prison guards.
Yes.
I gotta ask permission still.
Yeah, same. But Terry, even though we might be ready to buy the console, what does the chat think?
All right, 63% said yes, bring on the next generation. 31% said no, they're happy with the current series gen, and 5% want the mid-gen. You ain't getting it.
There you go. You know what? That's pretty good variety there. Everybody is a different gamer, and there's no right or wrong answers on this. This is all just rumored speculation. Until Xbox does it, we won't know what happens. But if they did it, this is I love playing these little what ifs. If they did a mid-gen refresh a la PC style, or not a mid-gen refresh, sorry, a next-gen console a la PC style, I think that's a more interesting conversation than just a new generation out with the old, in with the new. How about a new generation continuing the greatness that is gaming? All right, but it is time for Terry's Indie Spotlight.
All right, everybody, we got another indie spotlight, and today we're going to see how. I'm pretty sure most of you have forgotten about this character, so we're going to go back to those of us that were '90s kids, and we're going to see how many of you actually remember this character. All right, so we're going back.
It's Mario.
All right,
It's called Banjo.
Let's do it.
This Raymond.
All right, you guys. Marsupilami. Now, who here remembers this character? Come on. 90s kids, like TV show from Disney. Come on.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Mike.
I was gonna say it looks familiar. I just
So he's back. All right.
They're back.
They're back.
Even kids in the era don't remember it.
I don't remember it.
I figured most of us here probably forgot about these guys from the 90s. But yeah, so Marsupilami, you got Punch, Twister, and Hope, and they got a new adventure. It's funny because we were just talking about platformers, and this is actually a really good one that you guys should check out for those of you that like platformers. So basically, the Marsupilamis, they went ahead and they kind of opened a sarcophagus and released a ghost that kind of put a curse on all the animals in the world. So they gotta go and fix it. So they're traveling around trying to stop this ghost, and you can even go to places where there's dinosaurs. So it's good times to be had. And now this game is on all platforms, so you can enjoy it wherever you want to enjoy it. It's normally $20, but right now it's on sale everywhere. $6 on PC and Switch, $5 on PlayStation, and $4. That's right, $4 on Xbox. The best deal in gaming. So go ahead and get it.
Bing points.
That's right.
$4. And you can try to remember, some goodness from the 90s. So
For some reason, it gave me a how you call it?
How do you spell that name
A
again?
Donkey Kong vibe.
How do you
So,
spell Superlami again?
so it's like marsupial. So marsupilami. Marsupilami. There you go.
It's something about Mars.
Superlami. Characters in Spyro?
So the Marsupilami is actually a comic book character from France from way back.
Isn't this that
And
thing
then-
that what was it? Kevin from the comic books is with?
No. Disney had its own TV show from Disney in the 90s, and
What?
he even made an appearance on Darkwing Duck. Come on. So
I am looking at this, and all I can think of is that cat thing that Kevin has in the comics as a pet.
no.
This definitely does not ring a bell. Sorry.
Man.
I am super lame for not remembering what Marsupilami is.
That's weird. I already own this.
You already own it. But yeah, you could. That's why it rings a bell. He bought
I'm
it.
looking up Xbox and I'm like, I own this. And it says install now.
All right. Great. Another great game. The last game indie spotlight of 2023 from.
And you've all lost your 90s kid card right there. No one remembers.
Sorry, man. It was too poor for cable and certainly too poor for Disney Channel.
I just figured it out. I bought the Back to Childhood classic game.
There you go. Yeah, it is on that bundle. So if you have that bundle, it's included with that.
The bundle is $10.
I don't remember what the third game is in that bundle. It's one.
Smurfs, Village, and Asterix and Obelix. Slap it all.
There you go. So you can either buy the game by itself right now for $4, or you can spend $10 and get 3 games in a collection on Xbox. Do it now.
Or free using big points.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Xbox best deal in gaming, as Terry said.
That's just funny. Well, I bought it for Tiny Giant. I bought the Asterix and Obelix for myself, and then the other two, I was like, Tiny Giant would like that. So, bought the bundle.
All right. Awesome. All right, so hopefully I don't get copyright strike for this. So, credits. This video is brought to you by Watch Mojo. They did a compilation of the greatest video game years in history. So, shout out to Watch Mojo. All credit goes to them for what you will be seeing playing here. So, hopefully I don't get copyright striked on it, but I'm not claiming any right to it at all. Be sure to check out Watch Mojo on their YouTube channel, watchmojo.com. So guys, before we get started on that, so the 2023 has been called one of the greatest years in gaming. So I wanted to compare it to some of the other great years in gaming. Now, what made 2023 so awesome were the number of, I guess, 90 plus games. Now, when I say 90 plus, I mean 90 Metacritic or OpenCritic plus games. So that is why did this stop loading? That is what we're talking about here. And according to most people, the greatest year in gaming of all time is 2004. Now, 2004 saw games like Halo 2, Half-Life 2, Metroid Prime 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, World of Warcraft, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Counter-Strike, Killzone, Ratchet & Clank, Up Your Arsenal, EverQuest 2, The Legend of Zelda, The Minish Cap, Jack 3, Need for Speed Underground 2, Vampire, The Masquerade, Bloodlines, Spider-Man 2, the movie Spider-Man 2. All that came out in 2004. So that is quite the lineup. And then, so while they're not saying it is the greatest year in gaming, it is probably the greatest year in gaming in a long time, in over 10 years. So I want to talk about some of the greatest years in gaming that we might have, because, when the critics say greatest year in gaming, they're talking gaming as a whole, not just for Xbox. So I want to talk about that greatest year in gaming as a whole. So with that being said, Terry, or anybody, Terry, Shaddai, DREADPOOL, what is one of the greatest years in gaming in your memory for when you play, for what you play?
For me,
and how does it compare to 2023?
Oh man. I'm kind of torn between 99 and 2000. So that's probably like the most impactful time for me, because like I remember like I spent most of my time playing NASCAR 99 and like NFL Blitz. And I played those, like I literally wore out my controller playing those games. So that is probably, I don't know when NFL Blitz came out. I know there's NFL Blitz 2000, but I don't know if I actually played 2000. I think I don't know. But so yeah, I don't know, maybe 99. I'll just say 99.
All right,
It's
so
definitely-
1999 had great releases like Soul Calibur, Gran Turismo 2, System Shock 2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Oh, Pro Skater. I played that game to death too. Like, yeah, 99. 99 is definitely probably the best year in gaming for me.
Planet Skate, Torment, and Roller Coaster Tycoon, amongst all those other games that Terry said.
Yeah.
So 99. All right. So 99 is one of the greater years for you.
Yes.
How does it compare to 2023? Which year was better?
Oh man. That's tough because like the games we have today are so impressive and different from what we had back then. But at the same time, I feel like I'd have to go at 99 because the games back then you would play for months and months and months and they never got old. Now now with the variety of games we have today, you play a game, you beat it, and you move on, and you there isn't that replay factor for stuff unless you're someone who's really avid in like competition games like Fortnite or Call of Duty. You don't really play a game for months at a time. Or if you're like into like MMOs, so yeah, 99 was just. That was the year. Did Matt Hoffman's come out in 99 too, or is that later? Because like I played Matt Hoffman's BMX. Matt Hoffman's BMX. It was the competitor with Tony Hawk. Dude, I played that game so much.
That was a fun
I loved
game.
it. Oh
BMX?
man, I loved it.
Pro BMX?
Yeah, BMX.
Oh, BMX, yeah.
Oh man, I used to just doing the Superman off of the half pipe was like the best time ever.
That was in 2001.
Oh, okay. But yeah, but still.
You got yourself, you got ahead of yourself by 2 years.
Got ahead of myself, but yeah, no, 99 had some fantastic games, man. For sure.
All right. Well, what a fantastic year. And she's giving it to 99, sticking to
99.
the
I'm
nostalgia.
sticking to it, man. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Definitely should stick to what you know. Shaddai. What is the greatest year in gaming outside of 2023 that you can think of?
Man, I could
Number
say
16, 2002. 2002 saw several developers release some of the most
you put the
influential.
audio for the video.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna say the 360 era. So we're talking about what?
Not the whole era. No, we're talking about a
No,
year.
No, that's what I'm saying. I was gonna say, what is it, like 2000 and I think 2004.
2004.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
What made 2004 so great?
Because what comes to mind is like, okay, Halo 3, then it was Gears, then I saw what was the other game? Crackdown was there, the first one.
I thought Halo in 2004 was Halo 2, wasn't it?
I think it was Halo 3, if I'm not mistaken.
No way. No way.
But that's because, not only because of the whole leap, it's just that there were games that
Halo 3 was 2007. Okay, I was right. Yeah. Okay.
So that was 2007, right?
Yeah, 2007.
Yeah,
okay.
See, I was far off. But yeah, 2007, because they had that summer arcade, and there were some indie games that were really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it called? Dust? Elysian.
An Elysian
something?
scale, Dust. Yeah.
That was a really good side-scroller game. And that's when, Sony came with their bangers too. And it was really good. It was really good in 2000 and whatever it is, 2007.
7. Yeah, 7. Yeah.
But for me, it's that 2007. That's when you got that leap. A lot of the games, and I think it was Left 4 Dead was there too. So it was a lot. It was a lot. And I think they had the orange box on that year too for the console.
Oh, the orange box. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. They introduced us to Portal. Yeah.
Right. So
yes.
2007. 2007.
2007 was a good year. I gotta give it to you. Yeah. Yep. Okay. But how does 2007 compare to 2023 for you? Which one do you think was better?
I still gonna go 2007. There's a lot of games 2023, but it feels that it was way like too much remasters and remakes. You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with it, but it's like they didn't know how to balance things out. And that's what happened. We did have some bangers, you know, hi-fi here, but then we have a lot of delays on the other end and broken games from Cyberpunk to Redfall. So, you know, there were some missteps there. But I'm gonna stick with 2007. There's a lot of bangers. There was a lot of games that pretty much they're trying to show. They're trying to prove a lot of things. So
okay. Let's see. Okay, so there you go. 2007, still holding Shaddai down.
yes.
Dread, you there?
He's trying to fix his background like he usually does.
What's up?
So outside of 2023, what was the last great year in gaming that you remember?
2021.
2021. Okay.
Yeah.
What made 2021 so fantastic?
Well, just the games. I mean, you look at a new console that came out.
That's really recent.
I'm sorry, 2001. I'm sorry, not.
Oh, okay. Okay, 2001. Okay.
I'm like 2021.
Okay,
Yeah.
2001. Okay, yeah.
2001.
When Xbox came out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
When Xbox came out and changed up the industry.
Yeah.
This is why.
I knew it. I knew
Halo,
it.
Grand Theft Auto 3, Super Smash Bros. Melee.
Metal Gear 2, Sons of Liberty.
Mhm.
You said Tony Hawk 3.
Devil May Cry.
Mario
Final
Kart.
Fantasy 10.
Yeah. SSX Tricky.
Oh, what a great
the
game.
snowboarding.
Tricky, yes.
The snowboarding, that was good.
Smash Bros.
Luigi's Mansion,
Legend of
Star Wars
Zelda.
Rogue Squadron 2.
Ready to Rumble.
Twisted Metal Black.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good year.
Yeah.
That's a good year.
Rogue Squadron. Let's see. Unreal Tournaments. Flight Simulator 2002, which was okay, but Shenmue 2, Max Payne.
Yeah. Shenmue.
Silent Hill 2, Baldur's Gate 2, Super Monkey Ball, Red Faction, Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Oof, I remember that.
4, Tribes 2 for those that played on PC. I loved that one there. That was fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That was a good one. That was a good year.
It was a good one, yeah.
Plus,
so how does 2001 compare to 2023 for you? Which one is better?
You know, it's funny is which one is better. We have fond memories of the past. However, the stuff we have now, when you compare that console versus today's console, when you play that Halo versus today's Halo, you know what I mean? Everything's so much better. You know, you're looking at Grand Theft Auto 3 versus Grand Theft Auto Forever. 3 generations.
Grand Theft Auto Infinite.
3 generations of it. But I mean, we got to play you just had it on the screen. GoldenEye all over again on the Xbox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, this 2023, I look at this year. You got Starfield. I know people hate it, but I'm going to say Redfall.
Number 8, 2001. Although 2001 saw Sega.
Sorry.
Max Payne, or not Max Payne.
Alan Wake.
No, yeah, Alan Wake too. That's it.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Okay, Tiny Giant's still making eggs. I'm smelling food. I'm smelling the stuff. So I'm like, gotta check, watch her while she's cooking.
That's good.
But yeah, there's a lot of games that came out this year.
Yeah, here's your year right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it was a fantastic year. I can't argue with that. That's a strong year there.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 3, yeah. Changed the open world genre forever. Halo.
That's when the true graphics came out. Forget the the sprites. Now we're going for 3D. That's crazy.
Yeah. Let's see. Dan the Man Cunningham says Mass Effect and Mech Assault did it for me. So that would be 2000.
Oh, I could add
Mass Effect and Mech Assault are two different generations, but yeah.
I could add Brute Force.
Yeah, Brute Force was fun.
Yep.
Let's see.
Bloodwake.
Sepho says whatever year Super Mario 64 launched in, that's 1996. It literally changed the direction of gaming. And Ocarina of Time, oh my God, Chef's Kiss, perfection. That would be 1998.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Brute Force and all that was 2002.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember that it only had a few months when they came out, so
yeah,
there's very limited Xbox games.
Yeah, great, solid pick. For me, the greatest year in gaming prior to this was probably 1997. 1997 came around. The new generation of everything was out. The 64 was out. The PlayStation 1 was out. The Sega Saturn. All these consoles were all in full force at the time, and PC was finally getting. This is 1997 is kind of the year that PC kind of leapfrog consoles by a long shot, and I do mean a long shot. So games that come to mind are like GoldenEye 007. So many hours wasted on that game. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So many hours wasted on that game. Final Fantasy VII. Need I say more? So many hours wasted on that game. Those were called the big three of their time, right? But you also had things like Parappa the Rapper come out that I really enjoyed that, and I'm a big fan of rhythm games. Star Fox 64, Mario Kart 64. Tomb Raider 2 came out that year. I don't know if you guys remember Tomb Raider 2, and it looked so much better than Tomb Raider 1. And there was a PC game called Total Annihilation. I don't know if anybody knows this. It's an RTS.
No.
Really great RTS. I wish they would have made a sequel to it. And on the Xbox side, Fallout came out. I guess that's now Xbox. Fallout came out. So yeah, I mean, 1997 for me was a fantastic year that influenced me as far as all those games are concerned, and I still really love that year. How does it compare to 2023? I guess I'll just have to wait and see and find out, because I did play a lot of good games this year. I just got to wait to see over time how is it going to finish comparing to 2023. But for now, I'm going to stick with mine as well. 1997 nostalgia wins. So yeah. Well, I guess I'm also playing Final Fantasy VII in 2023 as well, because I just got my PS5, and next year in 2024 I'll be playing Final Fantasy VII again. So yeah, it's repeating. But yeah, great choices from everybody. And of course, there are no wrong choices. Everybody can do their thing.
I want to add that Crash Team Racing also came out in 99.
Oh, there you go.
So there you go.
Crash Team Racing came out in 99. Yes.
Man, I love that game.
I'm going to add GameCube also came out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That whole new console. Yeah.
And the Game Boy Advance.
The Advance came out?
Yep.
The Advance?
March 21st.
Oh, wow.
Me, the Advance holds a special spot for me, as it's the game it's the little console that kept me gaming while I was in training for the Army. So yeah, that console really hit for me, really hit. And then I say the Sega Saturn side. If you ever played Die Hard Trilogy on the Sega Saturn, you're playing one of the best ones out there. So yeah, the Sega Saturn also had some fantastic games on there if you were a Sega Saturn guy. All right, moving on. So that's the greatest years in gaming. But 2023 was a great year in gaming, not just for the industry as a whole, but for Xbox. So I want to talk about some of the games we played on our Xbox. And give me your Xbox Game of the Year. Now the rules is it had to have been playable on the Xbox. Doesn't have to be first party. It just had to be playable on it.
Okay.
And it had to be a 2023 game, I guess, or a game you played in 2023. How strict do I want to be?
Maximum of 3 games, right? We could mention.
I would prefer to keep it maximum of 3 games. You know?
Maximum. Okay, got it.
Just because this list could go on forever if we start mentioning every game in the world, you know.
Okay, maximum of 3. Got it.
Yes. So that's just the way I want to keep it. So, Terry, are you ready?
Yeah.
You know she's gonna mention everything that is Ubisoft related.
We ain't wrong.
See?
All right, with the Ubisoft list, take it away, Terry.
Forget
All
Xbox.
Right. So first up, so my top 3 games that for 2023, the first one is going to be War Tales. Now, technically, that's not a 2023 game, but it came out in Game Pass in 23, so I'm going to count it as a 2023 game, because most of us weren't playing it on PC in 21. All right. So,
enough.
War Tales. Oh my god, that game is amazing. Love it. So good. My number 2 pick is going to be The Crew Motorfest, the best racing game out there. So suck it, Forza. Forza sucks. All right. Just when it comes to gameplay, The Crew is just so much more fun and enjoyable, and there's a lot more variety of things you can do compared to what Forza does. Forza, wins graphically, but when it comes to gameplay, man, The Crew is on another level. So Motorfest beats out for racing for me. I love that game. And then number 1 for the year, Avatar. Oh
Avatar. How can
Avatar.
it be anything else?
Oh my gosh, dude, it's so good. It's so pretty. Like the story is gripping and emotional. And this is the first. Like, I'm not big on the movies. I mentioned that to everybody before we went live. Like, I seen the first movie. I haven't even seen the second movie, but the game looked really pretty. And like I keep telling people that I'm a sucker for bioluminescence, and that game has so much of it. I love it.
Yeah.
And it's the first game in, I can't even remember, the decades that actually got me teary-eyed. Like I got emotional during the story. And
Avatar?
Yeah, like
what?
It got me. Like,
see, since when she gets all emotional like that,
like
you usually ranting.
like games for the longest time, like the stories haven't gotten me emotional in a very long time. Story writers have been kind of crappy, for a long time when it comes to games. Like for the most part, when we think about games, we think about the gameplay, not so much stories. Like most games we play today don't even have stories that we can remember. We just remember the gameplay and having fun with friends. We don't remember what the story was because they suck. So yeah, Avatar. Props to the writing team. They did such a great job. I actually want to see the second movie now because I've never seen it. I had no interest in seeing it, but the game is so dang good that now I actually want to go see the movie because it's top notch, so good. So yeah, Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, definitely my game of the year. So freaking good. So topped it. So
I love it. I love that it's and there's nothing wrong with anybody's game of the year. We all have different tastes, and again, I love that everybody can think for themselves. There's no group thinking going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do like that. So and by the way, guys, this again, credit due here. This is from Gaming Bolt. They put together a list of 21 amazing games on Xbox. So shout out to them. So yeah, let's go on to Eternal Shaddai. Tell me your top 3 and your game of the year included in that list.
Number 3.
Yes.
Remnant 2.
Nice pick. Very nice.
Because that game, I wasn't expecting the game to be that hard. Very nicely made. It does have some flaw. Actually, they fixed the problem that they had, that you had to wait for like a bonfire, the crystal, whatever it is.
So yeah, you had to come in to the waypoint.
Yeah, yes. So they finally fixed that. So that's a huge plus. That was my first time entry not too long ago. I did mention that I played Chronos and I didn't know that was a prequel.
Right.
So now I got invested. Not too long ago, I actually bought the first remnant from the ashes. So now I get the whole set, suckers. I mean,
Yes.
so,
Completions.
so I know I talk a lot of crap about games that are for masochists, but you know, I ended up buying it.
That's like the shooting game for masochists right there, right?
Yeah. So, hey, I ended up being a sucker because of that Remnant 2 thing. So I had no other choice to to buy that. Number two.
I love how he's yelling it out. That's great.
I am not yelling it, I'm just pushing it.
Yes.
2. That will be Lies of P.
Another masochist game. Wow.
Yeah, no, but hey, that is true. But I'm like, wait a minute. If this is Pinocchio, it reminds me of what is it called? That is Alice in Wonderland in the 360. That it was dark.
Madness Returns.
Whatever.
Yeah, Madness Returns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good game.
So I'm like, hey, you know what? I heard it was good game for that one, Alice. So what about Lies of P? And boy, the images, I don't care, the graphics, the game, it was everything. The puppets, it was just really well made, like really well made. And I couldn't beat Sekiro, but I got involved into Lies of P. I don't know. I think it's because now Disney becoming dark, instead of beating Kitty. But it's really good. That's my number 2. I'm my number 1.
Number 1.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Game of the year for Shaddai.
Yes, game of the year. It brought me Patapon. It brought me Guitar Man for the PSP. It brought me Devil May Cry-ish. All in one there. It had a really good soundtrack.
Yes.
Really polished game. The humor is there. I hope for a sequel for it. It was, not for nothing. I'm like, I want to play it again now that they have a DLC for it. Hi-Fi Rush.
There you go. Hi-Fi Rush Arcade Challenge.
It didn't. Hey, it didn't make me sentimental or emotional. It just made me more hyped. I'm not like Terry. I didn't cry for it. I did cry for a really good game, but the rest of it, it became hype. Those are my 3.
All right. Well, there you go. That's Shaddai's list. Let's check in with the chat. Let's see.
I'm with you, doggy.
Let's check in with this with the people, because I love hearing what the people have to say. Shout out to Sappho. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Let's see. Baldur's Gate 3 is my pick for Sappho. Jesse Darby says we got to come out with our award for best 10 podcast show of 2023. Hey, that'd be something.
I read it wrong. I thought he said big 3. That he liked my big 3s.
No, the Baldur's Gate 3. Let's see. Jesse Darby says Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, and Ghostwire Tokyo for him. And honorable mention is AEW Fight Night Forever. Yes. Crazy Image TV, thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. He says Jedi Survivor is my game of the year. That's right. Let's see.
Oh, right there, Liza P. Oh,
Liza P, there you go.
I'm about to cry.
Let me see who else we got. Doggy Dog says, totally agree. Turtle Shaddai Hi-Fi Rush was incredible.
Yes.
I'm with you, Doggy. Back from the dead. Thank you so much for joining us. You are the real MVP. Yeah, guys, let us know what your game of the years or what your top games were in the chat. We love to read what you guys have to say. Dreadpool, your top 3, buddy.
Well, you would assume, seeing that I've been playing Call of Duty, that it'd be Call of Duty, but no. I'm going to give Alan Wake 2.
Ooh. Alan Wake 2, number 3. Okay.
The nod for number 3. And then
that low? Blasphemy.
Wait for the blasphemy.
You didn't even rate it at all, Shaddai, so you hush.
Wait for the blasphemy.
Look here, Mr. I can't beat Sekiro or Elden Ring.
You didn't even make your top 3.
My number 2.
I don't have it, that's why.
Yeah. And then, you guys guessed it, my number 1.
Wait. What was number 2?
Starfield.
Starfield.
Oh, okay, Starfield. Okay. Yes.
I mean,
Sorry, there was a lot of yelling going on. I missed it.
the yelling blinded you?
Oh,
well, I'm listening and doing a lot of stuff over here. I'm not always looking at what's going on.
So Dead Island 2. There we go.
Dead Island 2.
I want to give it a try on that one.
You got to admit though, for all these games that we keep on complaining that come out broken, this one here came out practically flawless. Polished. I mean, it flipped its own gameplay style on it, on its head. You know what I mean? So it
the
didn't
fact that you
go
could tear
with
someone's face off was awesome on it.
Just the breaking of the bones and the limbs and the clothing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was really cool. Guts hanging out. Yeah.
So yeah,
they went full.
There you go. So his game of the year is Dead Island 2, the same as his wife. No wonder you two get along so much, huh?
Yeah.
No, I think they came to an agreement. Like, you better say what I like, or we're gonna have problems.
No. I buy the games. She either enjoys them or she doesn't. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So let's see. What the heck, Jesse Darby? What are you talking about? Shaddai totally 100% gave it to Hi-Fi Rush. That's an Xbox game.
Yeah.
This isn't an Xbox exclusive list. This is just games we enjoyed on our Xbox, which is what it's all about. Right? Let's see. So for my games, where am I going to put my games here? I know what my number 1 is. But there was a game that came out, and I'm trying to remember what it was. So until then, there was back here. Hold on.
There's only like 10 exclusives for the year.
No, I didn't want exclusive.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. There's only 10 exclusives, so
yeah. It was back here. I saw it. I swear I did, and I'm like, oh, that game's good.
What, Ravenlock?
No.
Oh.
No.
Oh, I forgot about that game. Ravenlock is really good too.
No. All right, whatever. We're gonna go with the games. Okay, so here we go. So my number 3 pick for best games I played on my Xbox is gonna be Hi-Fi Rush. Hi-Fi Rush to me was a fantastic indie music game. The soundtrack is definitely the best part of that game. I wasn't a fan. The only reason it didn't score higher is because I wasn't a fan of how it separated the exploration and the combat. Every combat was a zone that would load. If it was just seamless combat through the whole experience, it would have probably gone in a lot higher. But nothing wrong with the story, nothing wrong with the soundtrack, nothing wrong with the gameplay. Just a matter of how I like my combat to load. That's all.
The only thing wrong with it is you called it indie.
Yeah, it's not an indie, man.
It's 100% indie.
No, Microsoft owns them, man.
There was no money put into it. It was made by 5 people.
Oh my God, dude.
The soundtrack was only the same people that played the soundtrack made the game. Okay,
Not indie, kidding. Man.
No, sorry. Yeah, sorry. It was more a smaller style game. How's that? A smaller experience. But Hi-Fi Rush definitely is up there as one of the better games of 2023 for Xbox. For Xbox, my number 2 game, I'm gonna give it to Wulong Fallen Dynasty. Liza P, all that good. Liza P, Lords of the Fallen, all those are. I haven't played Remnant 2 yet, but Liza P, Lords of the Fallen, all those are great, but none of them did combat like Team Ninja did with Wulong Fallen Dynasty. I played the crap out of it. It was challenging. It was fun. I loved how you needed to both dodge, block, and parry to get through some of those bosses, and you could only dodge certain attacks. You could only block certain attacks, and you had to parry some attacks or else you were dead. And again, I love those games, those styles of games where if you don't take even the peons, the ads seriously, they will end your life. So, for the masochist inside of me, I'm giving it to Wulong Fallen Dynasty from Team Ninja. And My number one Xbox game this year is none other than Starfield. I loved that game. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I spent so much time in Starfield. It made me feel like I was born 100 years too early, maybe 1,000 years too early, as I want to be standing on these planets with no atmosphere and just staring at the stars and, exploring, even if there's nothing out there to see, just taking in the geography of the universe. I've always been a little bit interested in astronomy. I don't do any amateur astronomy or anything like that. I just love space news. I love the space discoveries. I love the theories that come out of it. If you ever follow me on TikTok or on Instagram, you see that I follow a lot of space related channels. So Starfield to me brought that to life. Even if the majority of planets had nothing on it, I'm like, you know what? That's how space is. I wish I could land on asteroids and just spin fast with them. That would be fun, So yeah, shout out to Starfield and Bethesda. And the stories were great. The ships were great. The space combat was fun. The actual combat itself was challenging if you didn't do the difficulty changes. And so yeah, it was such a complete story. And the new game plus to me is probably the best implementation of a new game plus I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, Starfield for me, it was everything I wanted it to be, everything, and gave me that sense of awe and like, man, I wish I owned a spaceship and could fly out to Pluto and just stare into the nothingness, So some of us do actually enjoy that stuff and don't think that it needs to be polluted with a city that takes up the whole planet like Coruscant, Some of us just enjoy the nothingness of it. So yeah, Starfield to me is my game of the year. That's our games of the year. Chat. Let's check in with the chat, see what they say.
I was going to say, I think you mispronounced the game. It's called Redfall.
No, certainly did not. The Redfall did not give me that sense of awe and wonder. Well, I guess it did give me the sense of wonder, like I wonder
different
why, but not the type of wonder like I wonder what's out there.
It wasn't as bad as people made it out to be.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But still, no, it's just not my genre. That's all.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anybody have anything to say?
No, good sir.
Nah, not really. All right. So, with that being said, guys, we hope you have yourselves a fantastic new year. Hopefully 2023 was the greatest year in gaming in a long time for you. If it wasn't, definitely make 2024 the greatest year in gaming. Any year can be the greatest year in gaming for you, as long as you pick up those controllers, put your hands on them and play some games. And we hope that 2024 finds you in good health and in good spirits, and that lots of good things come your way. But of course, with that being said, we wouldn't be able to do this podcast in 2023 if it wasn't for you guys, the chat. And of course, we won't be able to do this podcast in 2024 again if it's not for you guys, the chat. That's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to any of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. With that being said, we are getting. Why is it so small, Dreadpool? With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Get out of here. Happy New Year to everybody. Hopefully, pop some bottles of champagne. Celebrate however you celebrate.
Or a bottle of water.
24. I'm Axel 1324. Seeing you in 2024. Terry.
Dude, you're talking about 24 and I heard 24, so I missed it.
It's your go.
All right, let's do this one more time.
Start over.
I said it.
I'm Axel 2020. I'm Axel 2024. That's what you got. I'm Axel 1320. I'm Axel 1324. There we go.
I'm CoolcatTerri.
And I'm Dreadpool. I'm not mixing up my 2024s, that's for sure.
And I'm Eternal Shaddai.
And we'll catch you guys next year. Bye, everybody.